If I was just a developer, I'd be very, very worried right now that AI is going to replace me within the next 3 years. I'm worried that AI is going to replace me in about the next 4 to 5 years. Businesses need people that understand the bigger picture, that has the subject matter expertise in the business, that can use AI sort of to help them be more effective. All these people are splashing up charts in crypto, which makes no sense because tokenomics defy the charts, and mature markets are driven by fundamentals and sentiment. Immature markets like crypto are 100 driven by sentiment. And you absolutely don't know what's coming from day to day. So looking at a chart is it's bullshit. It's completely irrelevant. That's the way I feel about it.
Hi everybody, we're back in the studio again. I have a very, very good friend of mine and a guest that's calling in or, joining us from across the pond. And I'm very excited to see exactly what he's been up to, because he's doing great things. Will Laurent, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Brenda. It's always great to catch up with you. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I've been doing a lot of work with AI lately, especially on the data side. So my job has always been to use data as a strategic enabler of the business, right? So that's usually been in finance, trading systems with all the big names. It's been in a lot of that's insurance. I'm focused these days on the manufacturing side. I took a little sidestep over into crypto for a while. That's I'm still in there, but not nearly as much. I mean, the challenges as far as where I can apply AI to data problems, there are far more of those opportunities still in finance, manufacturing, some what we call traditional industries. So been doing a lot of work with agentic AI, but mostly just using AI to help me improve the quality of data, to identify what data we have, to go out and do discovery on that data. And once it's discovered, to say, hey, this is what I think that you have in all these systems. Here's how I think that you should put them together. Here's how I think that you should secure it, to catalog it, all this. So for me, data is serving more as an architect, like a conductor, helping me figure out what I have and put all those pieces together. My days of writing code are long gone, so I'm not like having the AI write code. I'm sure that if I get to that point, I'll do that. But already I'm seeing that there are certain things that I used to do that AI can do much better. But as far as being a person that is coding, if I was just a developer, I'd be very, very worried right now that AI is going to replace me within the next 3 years. I'm worried that AI is going to replace me in about the next 4 to 5 years. I have a little bit longer just because businesses need people that understand the bigger picture, that has the subject matter expertise in the business, that can use AI sort of to help them be more effective in that role, that I call it business architecture, bridging the technical to the business. Now, AI is going to be a big part of that. Where it gets scary for me is when AI says, okay, now I'm not only a developer, I'm not only a language translator or whatever else that you need AI to do. AI will say, I'm also a strategist and an architect, and I see the big picture.
Interesting. Now, your background, you're university professor, published author, technologist, you're a crypto dad. You've been at the cutting edge of crypto and AI.
Yeah. As far as if we're gonna mention AI and crypto, I would say there's two companies that I don't know how much you want to divert into a rabbit hole, but I'm a big believer in a project called Near, the Near blockchain, which is
very familiar with it.
Right?
Yes.
And as you know, I'm a big supporter. I've been a big supporter and did work at one time for ICP, Internet Computer, which just caught a nice rally. Finally.
Did they really?
A couple hours ago. It looks like they're
Did
going
I miss
up,
any announcements?
No, I haven't checked
Okay.
yet, but so I'm a big supporter in their technology. I'm still a big believer. I don't necessarily know that they've had the tokenomics worked out. I think they're a little bit closer
Mhm.
now. And as someone that still holds a bag of ICP and a little bit of near, I think both those blockchains have underperformed massively.
Massively.
It massively underperformed. At the same time, Nvidia just reported record earnings. Maybe that's why ICP's up. I haven't checked near. Maybe just because the AI bubble is still going. But I do think that we have an AI bubble because the AI stocks make up a big portion of the gains now in the Nasdaq. At the same time, when it comes to blockchain, I think that I don't necessarily know that we have an AI bubble yet. I think there are chains that AI is going to be building on. So I think there's a lot of room to scale as far as potential in in Web3 for AI. So while I do think that the traditional AI valuations do look, and maybe I'm wrong, I wouldn't touch Nvidia right now at
It's
these
over. I think
valuations.
it's overvalued, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think if there's an arbitrage opportunity, I think that if people have money in Nvidia, and again, not financial advice, I'd be looking at maybe taking some of that and putting that into very solid Web3 plays like Near and ICP. But that's just me. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, you when you said crypto dad, you sort of got me on that.
Yeah,
Got
because
me on
you
that.
are the person I would go to ask about ICP, and a
Yeah,
lot of my investor friends were really into it. So I know some of them are still holding it. So I just want to make
yeah,
sure that there are some blockchains that are going to do well regardless of this mini bear market. We know Avalanche is going to come back up. Nia is, and ICP, a lot of them that have been down are just waiting for those interest rates for whatever the new Fed chair is
yeah.
going to do.
Yeah, or I know that at one point Trump said he was going to give people a refund, a $2,000 check. I think that would be
That
that
stimulus
would
is going to kick things going. Yes.
you think yeah, if it comes, I mean, it's definitely inflationary, and it's definitely going to push some assets up, and I think it will it will give some of us, myself included, hopefully an opportunity to exit some crypto positions, just because I'm not necessarily sure after this. We were supposed to have altcoin season and we didn't. I'm not sure after this cycle whether we get another altcoin season. I think we have a few survivors. I think Near and ICP will be two of those survivors. But I think a lot of the things that we're seeing in the gaming sector, and just Ethereum's going to survive. I'm bullish on Ethereum, less so on XRP. But a lot of those big names that we're seeing, I just don't think are going to survive. Maybe they won't go to zero, but they're not going to be where they were. So I think that if you're a Bitcoin maxi at this point, even though it's been beaten down, I sort of understand that because um, Bitcoin Bitcoin might be one of the last things out there, even though it's got no utility.
It's Bitcoin
For
Gold, and so I
yeah,
know you're saying that based on the fact that we didn't have an altcoin season. We were expecting an altcoin season. What I do see is that retail is going to come in some point. I don't even think that the 4-year cycles are relevant anymore. We're at the
mm,
maturation stage where those cycles that we used to wait for, it's going to be 2026, 20 to 28, probably bear, those don't
yeah.
longer apply because everybody and their mama is getting into stable coins, and retail will eventually want to find out, how can I make some money with this?
I think again, I don't want to speculate too much. I just think it's funny that crypto Twitter, which has been very, very
It has
quiet,
been,
you
right?
still have
Well, because I'm
it's
not
been
on there.
extremely quiet. And a lot of my good friends are still looking at charts and they're chart guys, which I come from a Wall Street background. I've sort of discarded the whole chart
Me
theory
too.
years ago because I worked on I worked with the traders at Goldman Sachs and Lehman and Morgan Stanley and these are people with these are quants with PhDs in linear algebra and all types of exotic new math that we have never even heard of. If anyone's going to outperform the market, it's going to be those
Damn.
people, not someone that's looking at a chart and applying Bollinger Bands and Ichimoku clouds and those types of things. Again, that's my opinion. Maybe they'll make money short term, but I just think it's funny that all these people are splashing up charts in crypto, which makes no sense because tokenomics defy the charts, and markets, as you know, Brenda, are driven. Mature markets are driven by fundamentals and sentiment. Immature markets like crypto are 100 driven by
For
sentiment,
sure. For
and you
sure.
absolutely don't know what's coming from day to day. So looking at a chart is bullshit. It's completely irrelevant.
That's
Sorry for my language, but that's the way I feel
okay.
about it.
So, well, you know what? I used to laugh when I see them drawing charts because, like you say, sentiment is that's what makes a price, to be honest.
Yeah, and we're dealing with technology. I'm not a big fan of Solana. I don't have any Solana anymore. I do like some of the projects that are building on Solana. But the blockchain has gone down. If you look at the ICP tech, it's so much better. And if ICP had the same value of Solana, I think a lot of us would be almost retired
Oh,
by
by
now.
the
It
way,
should,
almost retired, for
but it
sure.
but right, but it doesn't. And if you look at the tech of Solana, it's not, in my opinion, it's not that good. It's gone down. It's like, so what happens? Like a chart's not going to predict if Solana goes down for 2 hours or some major thing happens. I mean, I think we're beyond the point of um from a cybersecurity perspective. I think we're beyond the point of some of the older type of primitive attacks, but we don't know we don't know what's coming. I have a good friend of mine that's sort of gone silent in the last 8 months that insists that Bitcoin is going to be hacked and to get out of Bitcoin, and it's not quantum. He claims that will be able to reverse engineer private key or public keys into private keys using a new math. It's way over my head, but so we don't know. We really don't know. So you have to treat crypto as really, really speculative. Still, I mean, yeah, Bitcoin, I think is probably still the safest bet, but you have to be ready for immense volatility. And I'll probably, I think Bitcoin, and I hate to throw this number out here because it could go to 200,000 in a month, but I think it can go down to around 40 or 35,000. I think it becomes attractive to get back in and I'm only going to get back in at my price when there's blood on the street. If it gets around 40,000, I think that there's enough blood on the street to make it attractive. Otherwise, there's just other things I want to spend my money on.
Yeah, and I know a good futures trader. He's been accurate, and he says it's going to go down to 55. Now we'll see. In regards to your friend who's being speculative and saying it will probably get hacked, we've had this since I got into crypto, since probably
Yeah.
even way before. They say quantum risk or whatever math they're coming up with. There's so many people working on that blockchain to
So many. Yeah.
stop that, to prevent that. Michael
Yeah.
Saylor and all those billions that are being put into that, there's no way that I don't even think. And anyway, the Trump family being highly invested and putting their name on that
Yeah.
Bitcoin, it's no, I see it's going to go to 1 million before it goes to zero. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. It could very well. I mean, I hope it goes to 1 million because it'll pull up some
I
of
know,
my
right?
other. It'll pull up everybody else, right? A rising sea lifts all ships, or
Yeah,
something. I
yeah.
forget what the expression.
Let me just talk about AI, because you've been to all these video conferences. You were talking about AI before anybody I know. We were holding Twitter spaces, and you saw something, right? How is it that
Right.
a beginner can come into, like, what angle should they come in as if they want to make money?
So, there's different ways. I mean, if you're a technologist, I think a lot of the jobs that were like prompt engineering was a job, those types of things. Those are pretty much AI is going to be doing that for itself anyway. If you're technical, I think any experience in machine learning. If you are not technical, the best thing that you can do right now is sign up for a free account at Amazon Web Services, AWS, and you'll get access to about half of their AI tools. And you don't need to be a developer. When I say their AI tools, it's things like voice to text and like all these tools, or image recognition. All the understand the capabilities of AI, then understand what your path forward. So AWS gives you like a good place to see, like, I think where you can go in artificial intelligence, as far as using AI also to build something. You can vibe code. Go to like ICP has an application called Caffeine AI, where you speak into your computer like you speak to Alexa, and it literally builds you applications.
Wow.
Replit is another one
I
that
love
people are building
Replit.
on. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a developer, and you can keep speaking to the AI and say, okay, I don't like this button. It needs to be bigger. It needs to be blue, blah, blah. Pretty soon you've built yourself a website, or you've built yourself like a small project management tool. And, if you put a lot of time in it, you can build some type of software, release it as software as a service. I mean, if you're super ambitious and want to put a lot of time in it, you can build something, put it on the Apple Store. But that's a 60 to 80 hour a week commitment. But I think vibe coding. I would say if you're going to get into AI, obviously get familiar with ChatGPT and Gemini and I use GenSpark a lot, because ChatGPT is just it's so woke. It's just ridiculous, and GenSpark
That's
just
what they're saying.
gives me the
I have never used GenSpark. I do Gemini and Claude.
yeah. GenSpark will just like start. It'll it's just like, it's like, hey bro, chill. Like, it's like it goes to bro. Like, it can sense. You know how AI gives you back like the things that it thinks you want. It also like adopts that spirit where it's like, and it actually started like swearing at me,
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know
in a good
about that.
in a good way, in a good way, in a
Okay.
good way, like not in a bad way, just like in a friendly way. But I like I like GenSpark just because it treats you like a human, where if I and I'm not going to be political, but if I typed in something to ChatGPT, let's just say, regardless of whatever side you're on, something about, say, Gaza or Palestinians and Israel, and like it shuts down, like it just starts shutting down. It's like, oh well, and I can't get to a deeper level. So yeah, get familiar with the tools, with Gemini on Google, with ChatGPT. Get familiar with the tools on AWS, which will take you to another deeper level. And most of them you can do free. The ones that you can't do free will probably cost you $10 a month for everything that you need to use. And then look at vibe coding and see how understand how AI thinks, so that when you speak in and you say, this is what I want in the app, look at the code that the AI is creating. Look at the JavaScript or the TypeScript or the Python, and you can usually say, I want you to write Python, I want you to write TypeScript, and it actually will do the different scripts, which is really cool.
Awesome. Awesome. So, background as a university professor, just maybe a minute. Tell us What was so fascinating?
I taught data analytics, and it helped me obviously stay on top of the um, stay on top of the industry and the trends in data, but it also gave me a lot of soft skills that I still use, especially reading body language of students. You know, if I was going to call in a student and they were doing this with their neck, it means that they were very uncomfortable. If they were
Oh,
doing two hands, it
really?
means really it was like this. Yeah, when people go for their neck, it means they're just not comfortable, and this comes from
Wow, I'm learning something
however many.
new, Will.
Well, think about it. Think about it from an evolutionary
Yeah.
perspective. We lived with big animals, and that's where they went for is for our neck when they wanted to they wanted to take us down. So this is just in our DNA as human beings. No matter where no matter where we come from, is that this is just fundamental. Just like raising your hands in victory, raising your arms out. I know this is a really close shot, so you can't see, but if I raise my arms up, that is also that's in our DNA. That's just part of being a human being. So I learned to read body language really well.
Oh, nice. Nice. What does my body language say?
The shot is too
Oh,
close.
really? I gotta move back?
It's too close. I can't. Yeah, I can't. Like, yeah, it all depends, really.
Oh, awesome. Well, so what's
Yeah.
the cost of not modernizing data infrastructure right now for a company?
The cost of not modernizing I mean, data is like gold, right? Good data
Yes.
is the new oil. If you don't modernize, you're not going to be able to service your customers. You're not going to be able to understand your business. You're not going to be able to understand your competitors, the marketplace. You might have not enough data. You might have redundant data. Your data might not be good quality. You might not be having the right data, discovering it. Your data might not be secured properly. Like, it's all these issues around discovery, ingestion, storage, security, and making sense around it. Like at the end of the day, all if you're an insurance company, if you're a financial company, that's all you have. Your biggest asset is data, and from that data, that's how you predict with AI or whatever other tools that you have at your disposal. That's how you predict what's going to happen in the future. That's how you get to your predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics, which is at the top of the value chain, which is I have some data, here's what it means, here's what will happen, and prescriptive goes one step further and saying we know what will happen, here's what you need to do.
Wow. I learned so
Sort of
much
like when
from you
you
always.
So sort of like when you are on Google Maps, it says there's a traffic jam here. The traffic's probably going to be bad for this amount of time because construction. Here's the route that you need to take. So you're experiencing predictive analytics, prescriptive, even though you don't even realize it. We all do every day.
So that's predictive. So what prescriptive?
Prescriptive is Google saying here's the route that you
Oh,
should
wow.
take, or here are other routes that you should take that will be better.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I know I promise not to take too much of your time. I would like for you to come back and talk to us, teachers, educators. I always learn from you. I love your wealth of wisdom. It's amazing to be
Thank
around
you.
smart people like yourself. Next time we'll talk about your
Yeah, thank
background in
you.
Wall Street.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'd love to. I'm sorry. I keep right now, as you know, I'm in Tokyo and it's work hours. I'm working remotely.
No,
And
I
just
understand,
keep
and
checking my computer.
I got you. I got you. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're gonna touch
Thank you,
base,
Brenda.
and I'm gonna invite you back
Yeah.
some other time in a few weeks
Yeah.
when you're calm, because I know moving from here to
Yeah.
here is a lot.
It's been
Is
crazy.
Japan? Do you
Yeah, it's
love
been
Japan?
crazy.
Japan so far?
I do. Yeah, life is good here.
Nice. I'll come visit you. Thank you
Yep.
so much,
Yep,
Will.
absolutely. Thank you.
Enjoy your day. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brenda. You too.
Bye.
Thank you.